Howdy, this is going to be Ghost's first real video. It's going to compose of weeks 1 and 2, so honestly week 1 is really hard to video just because a lot of stuff's happening, and so the video that follows is going to be a culmination of kind of like everything that we've worked on to show where he is with distractions, with all kinds of stuff. So the concept is we're just giving him cookies and there's other dogs around, but I can just kind of talk through the nuances as we continue on. Overall we're doing pretty well, but here we go. Let's go through the video and detail it out now. Alright, so I've just let the dogs in from playing. We have 4 labs because I'm a crazy person, and so they've all been trained individually. So what we start doing is sometimes we bring them in together so they're distractions, and sometimes we keep them apart. We make sure there's plenty of individual time with them, and so here, because they've come in, we're just doing cookies. And so Ghost is the one bouncing around in the back, and the other 3 are the other dogs. So basically when they offer a sit without me asking, they're going to get some cookies. We're just using kibble here. Nice thing about labs is they work for anything. So here he's figuring it out. If you notice, I'm shoving my hand into his face. He's still really excited and messy about where the food comes from. And so if he tries to steal the other dog's food, I'm going to bonk him. So here I'm not happy with the camera angle, so I go to move it. I was going to edit it out, but it really shows what it's like being around 4 lab puppies. Here you can see me in the background waiting for cookies in a minute right there. If I sit, will be better. Okay, so I reposition the camera so you can see everyone and what's going on, and we continue on. So at this point, I'm just gonna grab more cookies. Nothing here is planned. It's just all organic. I have cookies, which means stuff is available, and so I'm gonna pick and choose who gets cookies, how often. That's the variable reward schedule. And so Noah, the small chocolate puppy, he sits really regularly. That's him. And so I give him a varying amount of immediate cookies, and then sometimes he has to wait for me to give cookies to another dog before he gets them. Mia, because of all of the bouncing puppies, she tends to stand back. Ghost is just trying to figure out where he needs to be. Again, he just gets so excited over the food that he tries to barge in. So what we're trying to teach him is wait your turn. Sometimes other dogs are going to get things that you want. Sometimes other things are going to go. So this is really working on his impulse control. As you can tell, he's doing a lot better on the floor. Here he's offering it down because I made him wait longer. Noah, again, is the sitting puppy right there. And so here everyone starts figuring it out. And so everyone calms down really quickly. I'm happy with that. Here I'm trying to show Ghost that I'm going to touch him while he gets the cookies. It's the first time I've tried doing that. He's getting better about putting pieces together like that. So here he's offering the sit again. But this time I gave it to Noah first, and he got a little frustrated, but he offers it again, so I give him a cookie this time. So again, sometimes when you do the thing, I'm going to give you a cookie. Sometimes you're going to have to wait your turn. With the hunting dogs, they call that honoring. They also do it in obedience too. Like sometimes you just have to wait. There I got Mia. And I am saying yes when they do what I like, but I'm not specifying like Ghost yes or anything else like that. Here Ghost offered a down, which I don't necessarily want. I kind of want the automatic sit more than the down at this point. So I'm just waiting for him to offer the sit while the other dogs offered as well. So I have the other chocolate female. She's just not as experienced. She's sitting right now. We've had her about as long as Ghost. So Ghost is doing pretty well. He's trying to go with his crate so he can get in the crate and get cookies. He's just trying to figure out how to get the sole attention from me, and he's not completely realizing that he can just sit there and just get cookies. But he's catching on. Again, this is probably the second time that we've done a group thing like this. Everything else has been one-on-one, so I'm actually really happy with how he's figuring it out. There he acted like he was good, but then he jumped in there and basically my hand and half the puppy's face ended up in his mouth while he was trying to gobble up the cookies. So I just kind of bonked him on his nose, and then I rewarded him for the right behavior. And so we just continue on, just going back and forth between all of the dogs. As we continue on, you can start seeing how long they're able to work. So I've kind of lost the attention of one of the puppies, but now that I've lost the attention of one of the puppies, Mia has actually started sitting more, and Ghost tries to follow her lead a little bit. But here he's offering it more, and I'm able to touch his head. He's making the connection that I can do different things. So usually as I end the session, I want them to understand praise is a good thing. This is where I'm holding the collar right here. This, normally he would be, like previously he would have been on the ground when I did that. With all the dogs, I want them to know that the session is over, and so I do an okay, but I make sure I pet them. And again, everyone's got a collar on, so I'm making sure I can touch the collars. Noah here thought he needed a little extra attention, so he jumped up and I caught him. But again, I'm going back around. Can I touch your collar? Can I pet your head? That way they start associating it together. And like I said, Ghost has worked a lot on the collar pressure because he did not like it at all in the beginning. Now that he's shown for the last couple of days he understands it, I've added the extra, can I pet you while we do that? And this is his first time, and I think he's doing really well. So I was hoping the camera was going to get a better angle there, but basically what I do here is I just open the crates, and I say someone's name, and they're supposed to go in their crate. Ghost is really good at this. Mia's pretty good about it, and the chocolate puppies are starting to catch on as well. So yeah, Ghost is in there eating his cookies, and we're just wrapping up the session. And anyways, that's where we are. So I guess the main thing, again, it didn't look like very much, but all of the skills that we've been working on, the name game, which is basically when I say Ghost, does he turn and look? There were a couple of times there, and you couldn't hear it, but I did say his name, and he did respond to me. The hand pocket concept is really hard. Basically, my hand is a little bit cupped, and I want his nose just in the cup to be able to kind of nicely grab some cookies out of there, and then that way he can predict that my hand will always be a target. He just gets really excited about cookies, so it's a little bit hard for him sometimes, most of the time. And so what he does when he sees the cupped hand is he just kind of tries to stick my whole hand in his mouth. He doesn't bite or anything. It's just the cookies kind of scatter, and so it really doesn't help us get our reps like we need to for a fast delivery. So we are continuing to work on that. The crate has gotten so much better. We really worked hard on it the last 3 or 4 days. And then also being able to be led around by the collar, that's going to be really important with the mobility stuff. And eventually we'll be able to kind of change that to someone maybe using that as a stability and any of that. And we, of course, don't want him pulling back or doing anything like that. We just want him to relax into the contact. What else? We've started doing some off-leash stuff before he was in the house, even with the leash or me holding his collar or tethered. And so as you saw there, he did not have a leash on. He's doing really well with that. We've expanded out to doing stuff in the garage. We've done a little bit outside in the front yard. And so we'll just continue doing the off-leash in other places to work on the satelliting, which satelliting is basically he orbits around me. The default is always to come towards me. He can go check out other stuff, but if he checks in with me, he gets cookies. And over a little bit of time, what they do is they decrease the circle on their own because all the rewards are coming from the person. So anyways, he's doing really well. I mean, we're only 2 weeks into it. He did come with a really good understanding of sitting down. The only thing that I'm going to nitpick with that is when he goes to sit or down, he kind of slides backwards into it, so he ends up like a foot or two away from you, which if we're needing him to lean into someone to do like a chin rest or anything like that, that's going to be a little too far away. So I'm going to nitpick that and see if I can get him to sit into the sit instead of, changing position with that. The weather's warming up a little bit, but we're hoping to take the dogs on some hikes and trying to get some additional exposure with logs and different terrain and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's where we are. I'm happy with where we are, and I will see you next time.